It's at the bottom of your screen.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, if you go to participants at the bottom, yeah, right hand corner, yeah, raise hand, cheers.
Click on there. Andrew, have you got it?
No. I have seen that, thank you.
Thank you. Right, so sorry, so where are we now then? You're saying that you wish to, you are recording the meeting, did you say?
I am.
Right, thank you. Does any of the public wish to speak? Jimmy, is anyone hinting to you that they...
No, not at all.
Okay, so we'll move on to number 2, which is to receive and approve apologies for absence. Pleased to say that Councillor Haken is here, so he...
We've lost you, Jen. We lost you there, Jen.
Councillor Roper has sent his apologies. He's at work. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So number 3, declarations of interest for items and applications for dispensations. No one. So moving on. Number 4, to approve the minutes of the meeting held on Thursday, the 15th of October.
Frank.
So you've all received the minutes of the meetings.
Frank, you've got your blue hand up first.
Yeah, I propose we accept those minutes.
Right, do I have a seconder?
Okay, Fran's next.
Thanks, Jimmy. I just wanted to say that I won't be accepting these meeting minutes. I have spoken to Jimmy already. I sent a message. It was in relation to the section about appointing a vice chair. I understood that to be we were voting for a vice chair for the Zoom meetings only, and I feel that in the write-up of the meetings, it's been written up as a vice chair indefinitely. I think this might come back to the communication issue again, because with a proposal like that, it's my understanding that you would raise it as an agenda item during a meeting, and then at the next meeting, you would have a vote on that. People would either put themselves forward, or people would be put forward by others. So I won't be approving the meeting.
Okay, on that issue, the thing is that it had been discussed that Alan Greenwood had resigned, and so he was no longer a parish councillor. And if it wasn't clear to the parish councillors that, it is that he was the vice chair. So with him resigning, we no longer had a vice chair, and we needed to fill that position. Why Zoom was mentioned was clearly because we're saying that with a problem, if you get if you have the chair not attending, and you've got, say, the vice chair doing it, if then we have a break of communication with the internet, you need someone to take over. That's why we were suggesting possibly to have an assistant, but you didn't agree with that, and that's fine, that's everyone's decision. So we just went with the vice chair. So
Yes, I was under the impression that we were voting for a vice chair for the Zoom, for the period of time that we'd be having the Zoom meetings. The reference to a vice chair was only made in relation to a Zoom meeting, and examples given were only in relation to a Zoom meeting. And I just felt that was how it came across to me, and how it was, any reason for a vice chair was presented in the context of a Zoom meeting. And I do appreciate it's a good idea to have one, especially for Zoom meetings and for meetings that happen outside of Zoom. But I don't think in that meeting that was how it came across, and that was not what I voted on.
Okay, thank you. Do we have anyone else who seconds what was proposed then?
Andrew Peake has got his blue hand up. Andrew Peake.
Is June running the meeting or not?
Yes, Andrew.
June.
Yeah.
I'm the one who will see your hand up.
I don't control the blue hand. Yes,
Why
Andrew.
can't we see you, June? It'd be so much easier if you put your screen on. But I also will not be supporting these minutes. I agree with what Fran said. The vice chair for the Zoom meeting there was a great deal of the discussion, and it is not noted in the minutes. So decision was made, but the preceding conversation discussion was not minuted. So I shall not be supporting it.
Thank you, Keith Osborne.
Yeah, hi. Again, I have reservations about the minutes, especially the minutes regarding the Employment Committee. It's minuted that the 3 aforementioned councillors would be appointed to the committee. There was no vote, and therefore at this time there is no members of the Employment Committee as far as I'm concerned, because we haven't followed standing orders note 8A, which requires a vote. So
Okay.
hopefully we can address that at tonight's meeting and have a vote.
Correct, Keith. That's why it's on the agenda tonight, to have the vote, to literally have the vote on it.
Okay, that would be good if that was explained. If again, it's a communication issue. If that was explained in the agenda or by emails to councillors, such questions wouldn't be raised. The other issue I have with that is it's minuted about advice was taken from NALC and the monitoring officer,
Yes.
that two of the councillors who had offered to be had volunteered to be on the employment committee cannot be on the committee. I'd like more detail about the reasoning behind that decision.
Well, I can't give you the reasoning myself. I know what I received in the email, and it said it's inappropriate. So I'm not able to give you any more information than that, but that's what I have been advised. So, but we don't need to go into this now because...
Sorry, June, I'm talking over you. Apologies, carry on.
Sorry, I'm just saying we need to just tackle the issue of the minutes at the moment, not, we won't go on to the subject of...
I'll talk to you via Jimmy after this meeting then, via email. Okay.
Yeah, well, it's coming up in the agenda, isn't it? So...
Is it?
About the employment committee. The employment committee is on the agenda.
Oh, right, okay.
So that's why I said it's appropriate maybe to talk then about that. We're just talking at the moment about the minutes.
Okay.
Richard Sewell's got his hand up next.
Yes, I'll second it.
Thank you, Richard. Okay, right. Let's have the vote. June, for or against?
For.
Andrew?
Against.
Keith?
For.
JR, not here. Sorry. Fran?
Against.
John Walsh?
I don't think it's appropriate for me to vote on it because I wasn't a councillor at the last meeting.
Okay, I'll put you as abstain. That's fine. And Sean?
Yeah, I'm going to abstain as well because I haven't read it thoroughly.
Yep. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, motion carried.
Right, okay.
Jimmy, can you record who voted which way, please?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
Right, thank you. So we'll move on then to receive and note the clerk's monthly report.
Okay.
So you've all received the monthly report. Any comments on that at all, or are we moving on?
Keith Osborne.
Yeah, I'd just like to congratulate Jimmy on getting eventually to the qualification of Silca,
Thank you very much.
Hopefully will be a big step forward for the parish council and enable us to act accordingly as per legislation and everything that goes behind running a parish council.
Okay.
Thank you,
Andrew.
Keith.
This clerk's report is a background paper and should be displayed on the screen for members of the public to view.
Okay, well, it can always any person who wants it can always contact me afterwards.
The background paper should be available now. Should be share screen, screen share.
Okay, can we move on?
Anyone else?
John Walsh.
Just a small point on the SAM2 update that was included. It refers to the sports club. Would that be the Broadland Sports Club?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Keith Osborne.
Sorry, just another point.
sorry.
I know that the village hall, you note in your report there is no update on the village hall car park.
Yeah.
But surely we must have had, you placed an order a month or so ago?
Correct.
Have we had a confirmation of that order?
Yeah, that came through actually, I think, before the last meeting. Yeah.
Right. So, so what was? I thought the delivery was 15 days.
No, they've had to delay it. I believe even back then they said they were delaying it till about 27th of November.
Okay. Okay. Just wondering where that all was, as we've actually paid for it, I assume, and I assume they've cleared that check through their bank.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, June, no more hands up.
Right, thank you. So we move on to number 6, which is planning. The first application received Barnet Rollesby Road, Fleggburgh. Prior approval, it's change of use of agricultural building to a dwelling. Anybody got any points
Frank.
to raise on this?
Yes. I've got nothing against the initial development, but that was applied for planning permission. This is prior approval. That was applied for planning permission, which was approved for a nursery several years ago. Then that was for about 20 children walking to Fleggburgh School, and the access was taken down about 20 metres, 30 metres down towards Reps Road and coming out, so that divided the corner. Where they come out now, you're looking straight into the barn and you'll be well across the road before you can see anything, because that's just totally blind, and that's on the wrong side of the road. So I'd support development, providing they change the access. I meant where they put it, I don't know. That'd be down the highways.
Yeah, okay.
Andrew Peake.
I've spoken to the neighbours, the affected neighbours here, and they, similar to what Frank said actually, that they support the conversion to a house. They think it would be a benefit, it would look better, but they also are concerned about the exit onto the main road and would like it moved towards Rollesby, they think. Well, that was a suggestion they would make, so I would like to say that I would support the application if the access were made more safe, and it was clear where the tractors were going to go in and out to the field, whether that they currently use that entrance to move farm machinery in and out, and the neighbours would like to know where the tractors are going to exit from once this becomes a private driveway. That's all.
Okay, thank you. So in the view of that, do we have a proposer that we go for approval on this, subject to the condition suggesting that the access be looked at by highways?
Frank.
Yeah, just to remark on what Andrew said, there is another access up Mill Lane into the same field.
Okay.
Keith Osborne.
I would like to propose we accept that application with the proviso that highways take notice of the entrance to the site.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder?
Sean Haken. Sean, you're muted.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Right, June, for or against?
4.
Frank, for or against?
4.
Andrew, for or against? 4. Yeah. Fran, for or against?
4.
Richard, for or against?
4.
And John Walsh, for or against? Okay. Motion carried. I'm trying to find out who's okay. Hang about.
That's what I was then going to say.
Yeah, I think I've got them. Okay, carry on, Jen.
Okay, thank you. So the second one is Barley House, 1 Rye Gardens, Main Road, Fleggburgh. It's a proposed single-storey side extension. This is a new house. It's only just been built, and they're already trying to extend it. Surely this is just a way of circumventing planning.
John Walsh.
Yeah.
Sorry, June.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine.
John Walsh.
Yes, obviously I've driven past it quite a few times. And since this application's come in, I've had a little look as I've driven past. It seems to me that the extension, looking at the plans, would come right abutting the adjoining property, which is not occupied at the moment. And that property is only just being built, so I don't know how long ago the original planning permission was given, but it seems to me that this is a method by stealth to build a bigger house than what was originally planned for. So I personally would be against it on those two reasons.
Okay, thank you. Keith Osborne.
I believe we already commented on this additional application because the last set of plans we had, they had requested or tried to get through this building at the side, and we objected because it gave no access to the rear of the property.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah, it did.
Frank?
Yeah, it's common practice. I mean, he knew he wouldn't get a building and dwelling past the size he wanted, so I mean, that's just normal. That's common practice in building trade. I agree.
Sorry, Frank. Sean?
Yeah, I was just going to say that there is access on the right-hand side to get to the back garden.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so do we have a proposer on?
Andrew Peake.
I might propose that we do not support this application.
Okay.
Right, thank you. Do we have a seconder?
Keith Osborne.
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you. Right, so the motion is not to support. June, for or against?
Not to support it, yes.
Correct. Yeah. Yes. Frank, not to support?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Support. Oh, yeah, not to support, yeah.
Yeah. Fran, not to support. You're muted.
Sorry, yeah, for not to support.
Okay. Yeah. Richard, not to support.
Not to support.
Yeah, thank you. John Walsh.
Yes, I'm for that as well.
Yeah, and Sean.
Yeah, I would actually say the opposite. I'd be happy with that. So I would say I'm against.
Okay, just to be clear, you're against the extension, or you're against the proposal?
Yeah, against the proposal of not having. So I would actually support the application.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Sean. Okay. Motion carried.
Thank you. The third one is Rose Farmhouse, Broad Road, Fleggburgh, construction of a garden summer house. I personally don't have a problem with that at all. Has anyone got any issues with it? Anyone like to say anything?
Frank Brown.
Yeah, as far as I know, there's been no objections from any neighbours, so I would support that.
Thank you. John Walsh.
Yeah, I've looked at the plans for that, and I know the farmhouse because it's at the end of a public footpath that I use. It doesn't say on the plan whereabouts in the rear garden that this property is going to be, this outhouse, summer house, whatever you like to call it, it's going to be built. And there's two adjoining cottages that are very close to it. And I wonder if we should identify exactly where it's going into the garden and whether it's going to affect the other local residents or not.
Okay, Frank.
I'm sure that the neighbours would have objected if that was interfering with their privacy or anything else. There's been no objections.
No. Okay, thank you for that. Then do we have a proposer for this?
Andrew Peake.
I propose that we not support this application.
Okay, so not support. Do we have a seconder to not support? Frank?
No, I propose we support it.
Okay, well, sticking with the first one, which is Andrew's proposed not to support, is there a seconder? John Walsh.
Yeah, I don't want to oppose it out of hand, but I think we should make some more inquiries as to where the building is actually going to be and where it's going to lay on the land, and how it may affect the residents, and whether, because there's only really 2 cottages that it's going to affect, possibly, and I think we should get their opinions first.
Okay. Keith Osborne.
I think, having looked at this on the Borough Council portal, I thought they had indicated the position of the summer house by a red dot in the southeast corner of the rear garden towards the trees.
So that wouldn't be near the cottages then?
Yes, it would.
Yes, it would. Yes, it's
With all the trees.
The southeast corners would be the nearest to the cottages.
Right, I'm just trying to visualise it.
Fran.
Okay, that's
Thanks,
interesting.
Jimmy. I mean, with this this summer house, the neighbours would have received a letter through. Wouldn't they? Any sort of planning application that happens, local residents would have received notification of it already, or would they not?
yes.
They should do.
Yeah.
Sean Hagan.
Okay.
Yeah, I think generally anyone who might be around the surrounding area does usually receive a letter. Anyone who may be affected by the planning.
Okay, Frank.
Yeah, the neighbours would have been informed, and if they'd gotten it, they'd have discussed it with the applicant, or they'd have put objections in. So I just think I would see a problem.
Sean Hagan.
Yeah, I was just going to say, they also put a poster up, don't they?
Yeah.
Right
Yeah,
by,
on the site, near the site,
yeah,
don't they?
yeah, so any passerbys, you know, they should see it.
Okay, so, well, if we don't have a seconder for not supporting it, do we have a seconder for supporting it?
Richard.
Yeah, I'll second it.
Okay, who was the proposer on that? Sorry.
Frank was, I think, the proposer for it, and I think Andrew was not supporting it.
Yeah, and Richard is seconder on the
Yes.
supporting. Yeah, okay. Keith Osborne, before we move on.
Yeah, that's okay. I was only going to second it, but
Okay.
Richard beat me there.
Okay, so the motion is to support the application. June, for or against?
I'm for.
Andrew?
Against?
Thank you. Keith, you've, yeah, for, yeah. Fran?
For.
John Walsh?
Abstain.
Abstain. And Sean?
Yeah, I'm going to abstain as well. I haven't seen this plan application, and I was just trying to look on the website, but the website's down again.
Okay,
So I'll abstain.
Okay, motion carried, majority.
Thank you very much. Applications received since the 14th of November. Rose Cottage, Rollsby Road, Fleggburgh, a subdivision of land to form 2 new proposed dwelling plots, including car spaces for new and existing dwellings. Now, this has literally come in today to Jimmy. Comments are due by the 10th of December. There are no documents on GYBC website when Jimmy looked earlier today, so it looks like we will need an extraordinary meeting to look at this plans, because we haven't seen the plans yet.
Unless I can get an extension, of course.
Yes, if you get an extension, then yes.
Yeah.
Unless an extension. So
Yeah.
we'll move on, because we can't really discuss it when we haven't seen what the plannings are. So number C is planning decisions. Removal of the TPO on Poplar Tree in Tretz Lane has been refused by Great Yarmouth Borough Council. D, planning decisions received since the 14th of November. I don't believe there are any. Is that correct, Jimmy?
That's correct, yeah.
None. So moving on to 7, correspondence. To consider and respond to the following correspondence. If there's any, we've got the list. Has anybody got anything they wish to comment on?
Andrew Pake.
This again is a background paper we're discussing. Members of the public should have the opportunity to view this background paper. It should be screen shared. Is it available on the website at the moment, Jimmy?
No, noted.
And when will it be available on the website, please?
Well, I'd rather just let people, if they want it, they can contact me for it.
The local government
You've never
regulations
mentioned this.
2004.
You've
sorry,
never
Jim?
mentioned this in a year and a half. Sean Haken.
I'm mentioning it now. Is that not sufficient?
Yes, you are.
I'm sorry,
No.
I didn't. I'll get my crystal ball out to see what I'm going to mention in 18 months' time.
Okay, good
Thank you,
lad.
Andrew. Sean, what
Sean
were you
Haken.
going to say?
You good lad, me.
Yeah.
Sean Haken.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you know, you receive quite a lot of emails from particular councillors. You know, I've sent a fair few the last couple of months, like discussing, you know, the tree planting and the highways and whatever else. But yeah, I was just wondering, you know, is this a good use of your time? Like, I can see Andrew in August sent 55 emails. Sorry, in July, 55, August, 30, 19, 16, and you know, he's always right at the top of you know, the leaderboards with the emails. I was just wondering, you know, is this are these genuine sort of emails which are a good use of your time?
I'd have to say the answer is no. Andrew Peake.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know I didn't mean to raise my hand.
Okay. Right, June, there's no more blue hands up.
Right, thank you. So we'll move on to finance number 8. To note bank reconciliations, to note accounts, and then to approve items for payments. So
Andrew Peake.
So I just want to raise an issue with Simon Crook's invoice for grass cutting.
Yeah.
Am I right in saying that Mr. Crook informed us in March that he was not able to carry out the grass cutting because he was shielding? And so that means that when sorry?
Yeah, that's correct. So he's done 5 cuts this year, and he's charged us for 5 cuts.
So when lockdown was lifted, was that in July? Lockdown was lifted.
I can't remember.
And when it started again, he's done 5 cuts in such a short time, plus the 1 cut that the Norfolk County Council would have done. That means that this footpath has been cut 6 times in about 9 weeks, which just seems excessive to me and not good value. I think I've cut my lawn about 4 times this year, but the footpath that I'm responsible for just once, and I've had no complaints about that grass being long.
Keith Osborne.
I was just an observation on there. You've got Clippersby Church down as a payment of £770.
Yeah.
But the invoice that you've forwarded to us all is for £400. What's the difference?
Yeah, okay. The reason is they're getting 2 invoices this year, which will add up to £800. It's 400 plus 400. They haven't got the second one. I've put 770 on it because that was what was precepted, and it's up to councillors today whether they wish to pay the 400 or the 770.
I would suggest we pay the 400 as presented and wait for the next invoice.
That's fine. Andrew Peake.
How on earth has it been proposed that we pay an arbitrary amount without an invoice? Can anyone explain that, please?
Yeah, basically it's been precepted, Andrew, and it's not that you have to pay it. It's on there in case you want to pay for the full season or you want to pay for the invoice now. Frank.
Yeah, I'd like to go back to Simon Crook business. He came out of lockdown earlier because he didn't have any money, and he came out and did cuts before lockdown finished.
I think that was in June, actually, if I remember rightly. I'm not sure.
That was the reason he's done 5 cuts.
Okay, thank you. So
did he amend his risk assessment method statements to take account of the fact that he was told to shield because of his medical condition?
He did not send us any additional risk assessment.
Thank you.
Keith Osborne.
Sorry, I didn't.
No worries. Yeah, it's gone. Keith, you're on and off the whole time with your blue hand. I don't know what's happening.
Double clicking.
Okay, so are we able? So let's just look at Clipsby Church then. Are we saying we're not happy to pay 770? We want to pay 400 as we've been invoiced for that, and we will wait for a further invoice to come in.
Keith Osborne.
That would be my proposal. I don't see
Okay.
Sean Haken.
I'm not
sorry.
sure.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, right. So that would go to 400. I mean, we do know, you live in Clipsby, I'm sure you know, Keith, that the grass has been regularly cut, but I take your point. So, yeah, so that's fine. And Simon Crook, yes, it was 525. So are we happy?
I'm only just reiterating, I'm unhappy about the parish council paying any supplier prior to receiving an invoice.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So are we okay? The Filby Post Office, that was a remembrance wreath of £20. URM recycling 1422.
John Walsh.
Yeah, just for clarification, it might be helpful if we ask the people that are cutting the grass to give us the dates that they've cut the grass, so that we can keep an eye on it, whether they're reasonable or not.
Okay, thank you.
I'd agree with that.
Okay, thank you.
John Walsh. You put your hand down again.
I'm down
Right.
again.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, so are we able now to consider to agree to note bank reconciliations, to note accounts, to approve items for payment?
Frank.
Yeah, I propose we pay it and adjust that 770 to 400. I propose we then pay it.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder?
Sean Haken.
Yeah, second that.
Thank you.
So propose.
So
this is purely to pay the invoices, and it's £400 for Clipsby Church. June, for or against?
4.
Andrew, for or against?
Against.
Keith, for or against?
4.
Fran, for or against?
4.
Richard, for or against?
4.
John Walsh, for or against?
4.
Thank you. Motion carried. That was purely for payments, June.
For payment, okay.
Yeah.
So to approve payments of invoices, yes. Since the 14th of November, we don't have any?
No.
No, okay. So did we agree with the bank reconciliation to note accounts as well? Are we going to do that as a separate vote?
Yep.
Okay, so do I have a proposer and a seconder to note the bank reconciliation and the accounts?
Keith Osborne.
I propose we accept those.
Thank
Thank
you. Keith. Do we have a seconder? Fran.
Yeah, I second.
Thanks. We might run out of time here. We'll continue in the next part of the meeting. So
Right.
June, for or against?
4.
Frank, for or against? 4. Andrew, for or against?
4.
4. Thank you. Richard, for or against?
4.
And Sean, for John Walsh, for or against?
Yeah, 4 for me.
And Sean?
Yeah, 4.
Okay, thank you. Motion carried.
Thank you very much. Okay. So we're now moving on to the Employment Committee. Oh no, sorry, just one more thing. The reinvestment of money into a higher interest account. Councillors were all sent the email from the clerk to advise that the interest rate had fallen, which is not surprising in the current time, but yes. So number 9 is Employment Committee, which is what we will come back to in the next part of the meeting.